Hello, everybody. This is Douglas Auclair, known online as Joff. I own the company Logical Graphs, and we're going to be talking about a combination of two things, Rust and my daily reports programs written in Rust. Prior videos, I talked about how to install Rust and then how to solve quizzes using Rust, including Rust build tool called Cargo. And in another video, I talked about my daily reports, and I ran three of my daily reports and showed how running those daily reports and what I did in the reporting, including posting to Twitter and going on to my blog. This video is going to talk about my source code repository, the tools available to you there, how to get my source code repository, how to use it, including how to build the programs in the repository and put it onto your system, though, so you can run them yourselves. And also we'll look at modifying one of the programs and uploading the change to the repository. So there's before we get into it, there's three basic ways that you can use my repository. There's many ways, but three major ones. One is that you can clone the repository and use the repository exactly as it is. And if you want to make changes, you put in a merge request, and you can reach out to me via Git or Twitter or YouTube here and say, hey, I'd like to make the change to this program. We can review the change, and then I can upload the change if everything looks good with it. Another way you can do that is that you can fork my repository, and with the fork of the repository, then it's your own repository, and any changes that you make will be on your own repository. And so you can basically take all my code, use what you like, modify what you like, and it's now your thing. The third way is what Kingdom of Walruses did, which was I created a program called Vern, which ran scenarios inside Team Kujira's Fin order books and gave the best path for trading one asset for another. And so Kingdom of Walruses really liked that, but decided to take my code and rewrite it into his own programming language, which he was most comfortable with, and set up his own work based upon the work that I did, and he just simply rewrote it in his own programming language using my code as a basis. And then he published reports from his system that was based off of mine. So there are three different ways to use the repository. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's look at what the repository is, where it is. Let's look at what the repository has. Let's look at how to download it onto your own system, how to use the programs in the repository, and how to modify them, including my most recent Rust pop quiz. Okay, I will share screen. All right, and I will also share URLs in the description. So here's my repository, and it includes a bunch of programs, including my daily reports, and it also has setup saying you need to have where you download the repository, and we'll go over that in a minute, as an environmental variable. And I'll show you why that's important. And you also need to set cargo home as the source code directory in my repository, so that when you compile programs from my repository, Cargo, the Rust building tool, knows where to look for the sources. So those are two important environmental variables to set. So let's go look. So I am working on a Mac, and then my OS version is Sonoma. OS version Mac OS 10 14. And so what I have in my OS version then is a Z profile where all the environment information is stored. And I have a lot of information there. I'm not going to worry about that, but let's look for Rust book. Okay, and you see here that I have Rust book set to my home directory, projects Rusty, crypto, and Rust. And then also we need a cargo home. Okay, so I guess you don't need to set that up. Never mind. That is handled by the cargo manifest file, so I'm good there so far. All right, and you see this command here: source rustbook source scripts commands.shell. What are in commands.shell? Let's go look. So we go into our source, we go into our scripts, and in scripts there's commands.shell. And so I set up here a bunch of environmental variables that point to where do I keep my comma separated values files? Where do I keep my portfolio listings information? Where do I keep my holdings information? Where do I keep information about Orca? Where do I keep information about Quadriga Fin marketplace? And then I have a set of aliases. Rusty, I just simply type to go to the Rust directory. And it puts me into that directory. Cocaine, it runs my program LSD, which stands for a liquid staking derivative, but also stands for some people's drug of choice, so I call it cocaine, which goes to the source directory for the liquid staking derivative program, runs it, saves the information in Stride comma separated value files, cats that information out, and then adds that information back to my repository, and then goes back to the directory wherever I was. So if I type in cocaine, it does exactly that. It goes out to Stride's REST endpoint, grabs the information, parses it, and then coalesces that information into what I have useful in my portfolio. I grab this information, and put it into my portfolio spreadsheet. And boom, there we go. I have up-to-date information now on all the liquid staking derivatives that Stride offers automatically. And you see in the prior video how I did that report. The other command is CMC. CMC stands for coin market cap. And so when I run the command CMC, it goes out to coin market cap, gets 5,000 token prices information, including additional information such as which identifying number in CMC this token is. What is this rank? So you see ADA is ranked 8th in the world. Awesome. Atom is ranked 24th in the world. AVAX is ranked 9th. BNB is ranked 4th, etc. Bitcoin is ranked 1st and is the first ever token in the universe. Hooray. Gets all that information, creates a report for me. And so I grab that information and I put it into my portfolio. You see my portfolio is up 76% overall. When I put this information into my portfolio, you see it's up 72% now. So my portfolio went down a little bit, which is absolutely fine. But so I don't have to copy and paste coin values. I can just get this all from CoinMarketCap, and then I condense it into report, which I've talked about before. Great. So there are the commands for cocaine and for CMC. I have other programs available. So let's go grab the repository. And how I grab the repository is I go to the main directory, which I will share in the description. go to code, and then you say, okay, I want to clone using HTTPS is one example. And then so I go to and then so I clone the repository. And then what it does is it snarfs all that information and puts it into a directory called crypto and Rust. And this is the directory that needs to go in as my Rust variable called rustbook. Okay. And how we do that is we modify Z shell on my root directory. I'm sorry, Z profile. Go look for rustbook. And it's users, Joff, projects, Rust project, crypto, and Rust. So users Joff is my home directory, so I don't need to copy that information. Come on. And so I would change this to be and boom. Once I source Z shell, I'm sorry, Z profile, then my Rust book value is not changed because I didn't save this. Doi. Let's do this one more time. Source Z profile, and then echo Rust book, and you see my new working directory is projects, Rust projects, crypto, and Rust. And so I can say Rusty, and I'm in that directory. Okay, so let's go on a little tour here. Inside source are all my quizzes, answers, projects, and programs. Chapter 10, we have a program that reads the prices from Finn's marketplace data. That looks interesting. So let's create that program. How do we do that? We go to chapter 10, prices. We see we have prices.rust. Let's just VI it. You see I have a bunch of information. Going to my books library with file utils, list utils, and generic utils. I have a crypto library with REST utils, so I can read the markets. And then also read order books by parsing the books from the markets endpoint. Then I have a usage command, I have a main function, blah, blah, blah. Great. You can study the code at your leisure. How you build the project is you do a cargo build. What it does is then downloads all the modules from the internet that it needs in order to build your program according to the cargo manifest that you set up. And it says compiling the program, finished, and then put that into dev, unoptimized. So if you look in Target, you see that you now have a target directory. Let's just do an ls at the top level. You now have a target directory. And to run the program, you do a cargo run. Recompiles the program, and it says, hey, in order to run prices, you need to have assets, aliases, CS, comma separated value file, and it outputs the assets and their price quotes. So we can just do a cargo run here and point to and it goes to the internet, grabs from the Kujira Fin Marketplace REST endpoint the prices of the assets as they're currently trading at on Fin. Okay? You just, by doing a cargo build and then a cargo run, you just created this program that you can operate now on your own computer. If you want to check the Fin Marketplace data and you don't want to go through each and every order book, here you go. Here's a program that lets you do that. But that's fine if you want to CD into a directory and do a cargo run and all that. Why don't you just put the program oops, my mistake, into your bin directory, which should be on your, well, I have my bin directory on my path. So now you can just execute prices from the command line anywhere you are. Boom. So I can be anywhere now. I can go to Rusty and I can do prices. And it gives me the price data from anywhere I want. Okay. I like getting rid of the artifacts after I'm done using them. All right. So the last video I showed you how to run Cocaine and how to run CoinMarketCap, CMC, and how to run top order books, right? So CoinMarketCap is in chapter 5. And if you don't know where these things are, just go through the directories and say, oh, what's in chapter 3? In chapter 3, I've got real APY and winter. What's real APY? I don't know. Go ahead and look up the source code and find out. So chapter 5 has CoinMarketCap prices that gets you all the prices for CoinMarketCap, all 5,000 of them. And then in chapter 6, I just happen to know that because I wrote the thing, is CoinMarketCap filter, which filters all the 5,000 prices that's gotten from CoinMarketCap to the tokens that are in your portfolio. The tokens that are in your portfolio are different than the tokens that are in my portfolio. So to manage that, what I did was I created a file called portfolio coins. And so I listed the tokens that are in my portfolio and also on CoinMarketCap. So if you don't have some of these tokens, you can just delete them. You can get rid of like OP or Nolus or Lido or whatever is not in your portfolio, or KNC, right? Or Joe. Or if there's these tokens are not in your, if you have tokens that are in your portfolio but are not listed here, you can just add it. So isn't like Zeph one of the tokens? So you can just simply add it to this portfolio. That doesn't mean that CoinMarketCap has it. So we just added Zeph. Let's run CMC now. And behold, I do not have Zeph as something that I reported, right? I never reported Zeph, but just by simply adding it to data files, comma separated values, portfolio coins, I am now reporting on Zeph. Since I do not have that token in my portfolio, I'm not going to put it in there, but you can. All you simply need to do is download my repository, compile CMC, which is CMC prices and CMC filters, put those into your bin directory, and then you will have a command in your if you look in the repository, under source scripts, you now have the command CMC available. That goes to the Rusty directory, runs CMC prices, puts it into commissary values listings file, run CMC filter with that information that's been obtained and with the holdings that you have, and puts it into portfolio listings, then adds it into Git to record that information and list out that information. And if you don't want to add it to Git, you simply modify command.shell and remove this part right here, and it won't be reposed. So there you go, a program called CMC. You just simply run it and you get all the prices of all your tokens without you having to go around from blockchain to blockchain looking them up by yourself. Now, there are of course things like Plasma, right? That do that for you automatically. If you want to have that control for yourself, here's a program that you can use to do that. Okay, so go explore. There are 10 chapters. Chapter 8 has a lot of programs associated with them. You can look at these programs and say, what's here? And you can start looking through the source code and finding out what's available to you. Chapter 9 has things around liquid staking derivatives and top order books. So what top order books is that it goes to the Fin marketplace on Kujira and gets a listing of all the order books and all their volumes in the last 24 hours and list them in order so that you can see where the liquidity is in the Kujira Fin marketplace. Pretty awesome, folks. And it's freely available to you. Chapter 10. We're going to be looking at chapter 10 a little bit. I needed infinite lists, so I created a infinite list type. Orca does the report on liquidations over the last seven days. Prices, you just saw, right? It gets the prices from the Fin marketplace. So top order books gets the 24-hour volume highs for the order books. Prices get the current prices of the tokens trading on Fin. I want to see, I have a pop quiz, right? And the pop quiz is sort profit and loss, most profitable to least profitable. So let's grab this information, put it on the Twitters. And so I have a reporting tool, and I want to get from that reporting tool on all the trades of my profit and losses over the last month or however long I run the report, the most profitable, least profitable, and then report the most profitable and the most lossy trades for that month. So let's look at the source code for profit and losses. Profit and losses sources, I tell you right here in the quiz. I also happen to know that it's in chapter 8. So let's go to chapter 8. In chapter 8, we have a bunch of programs. We're looking at profit and loss today. And profit and loss is a set of modules. You can look at the cargo manifest, and it tells you that P&L with liquidations is the main program. And where I do my reports for the main program is, strangely enough, in the module called reports. So let's look at reports. Okay, we want to see the top traded assets. Can't find it, blah, blah, blah. Let's go here. So when I do a report, I get the data from the trading state, which is other parts of the program. I print out a bunch of stuff. Then I do liquidations, and I get do a report on liquidations. Then I do something called coalesce trades, which we don't know what it is right now. And then I say my source code is located in this location here. So Coalesce Trades, let's look at what we don't know. Coalesce Trades gets all the trades, accumulates all the trades into a hash map, eliminates all trades that are less than $100 in total over the month and are except for the trades that are of loss that are greater than $10 over the period of the month. So I get to see what trades. I'm not looking at trades that made me 15 cents during the month. I'm looking at trades that made me more than $100 during that month. Okay. And then so I coalesce those trades and then I sort by those trades and then print out the results. So I get the trades from most profitable to least profitable, to most lossy. But I also want to print out the top profitable trade and the bottom lossy trade. So I'm going to use a utility that I have, and boy, do I have some utilities for you. So if you look at my library set, we go to libs, you see that I have a set of utilities that I associate with the book that I'm writing called Crypto and Rust. And they're utilities associated with APYs, calculating APYs, comma separated values, both creating and parsing comma separated values files, file utils, HTML utils, JSON utils, blah, blah, blah. List utils is in here as well. And then those are just generic utilities that I find useful in all situations when I'm writing Rust. I also have a library of crypto modules, and I have JSON utils around my crypto libraries. I have parsers, REST utilities, and I also have various types associated with crypto, like coins and order books and assets and liquidations and marketplaces and percentages and US dollar representations. Trades, I represent trades, and I also represent portfolio. Those are the types. I also have parsers associated with crypto. Particularly, there's some weirdness around dates that is interesting. And there's also some weirdness around parsing numbers in Team Kujira that I find interesting to parse. And so I have a library utility around that. I have algorithms. The algorithms around order books. And so going from one order book to another order book to another order book to another order book to complete the trade, I can do these hops in these algorithms. Paths, pathing. Well, let's take a look. So this is the pathing for the order books. And the algorithms for order books are targeting a sell ratio, seeing which order books are active versus which order books are inactive. Because folks, in Team Kujira Fin, more than half the order books are entirely inactive. So I don't make trades on order books that don't have any activity on them. Convert books to order books. I have two various types depending on, and then I have read marketplace, which gets the information from the Fin marketplace. Okay. We were looking at updating the profit and loss report to give me the most profitable and most lossy assets traded during the last month. So let's go to my Rusty directory, just verifying that it's there. And I have to update my market data. I'm going to do that very quickly. Okay. So we're on branch main. I'm going to go check out a branch called profit and loss and update my profit and loss with the latest from Maine. Okay, so I'm updated now. So what I'm showing you here is in Coalesce trades, I get all the trades and I sort them from most profitable to most lossy. But I also want to automate printing out what is the most profitable and what is the most lossy. And so it's going to be the first and the last element of this vector. In my library utilities, particularly in the list utilities, I have something called first last. And that just automates vectors first and last information. And so I can go here and I can say, get me the high and the low of the trades. And then okay, so I print, if I have a most profitable trade, I print it out, including how much it was traded for that month. Same thing for the most lossy. Okay, does that work? Let's find out. Again, we download the libraries associated with profit and loss. And then it built. Okay, so let's give it a spin. It says in order to run profit and loss, we need to have the verbose flag if we want to see all the trades. And then the assets file associated with it, pass that in, and the trades file. So what I do for my trades is I go to my record of trades. And so I'm recording from the first of the month. And this is for January. Oh, that's wrong. Need to start here. would copy all this into trades. I already did that. And that's that big mess that you see right there. Same thing with assets. Assets I have as a continuous running file of the accumulated price value of the assets that I've traded since I started trading. So if we look at the assets, you see how much assets I have on hand. Remember Aqua, y'all? Astro, I bought at 18 cents. Or to put it another way, I bought at various prices, and the price that I've landed at after buying and selling Astro is now worth 18 cents. Atom, same. MDX, dot, I bought at $4. Let's look for Link. Do we have Link? Yes, we have Link. Link, I bought for $4. It's now trading at $17. Luna, I bought for $3, traded and traded and traded and traded, and now I have Luna valued at 77 cents. It's currently around 60 cents, right? So still trading above, my trades have been above its current value. I'm just going to keep trading Luna until the value of the Luna I've traded becomes a lower price than the current market value. And I'm going to keep doing that forever. Same thing with Manta. Manta I bought at 10 cents and eventually traded up. Now my trade value is worth 23 cents. It's currently trading around 60, 70, 80 cents. So I 3-4 times my money on my Manta investment. And since I bought 5,000 Manta, that's a pretty good 3-4 times. NSTAKE, Neutron, Osmo is worth absolutely nothing. Roar, also worth 1/1,000,000th of a penny, something like that. USDC, I trade USDC, arbitrating it. So the value of my USDC that I've traded is 99.5 cents. It's trading at $1. So if I trade away all my USDC, I'll be making 0.5% on the USDC that I hold. Whale, I bought at like 15 cents or something like that, but traded it all the way down to 2 cents. And now it's trading around 5 cents. So the value of the whale that I have now, if I traded it all away, I would make 2 or 3 times. You see how that works? And the way that works is the program PNL goes to the assets file, gets the asset that's being traded, and then updates its value after the trade completes based upon averaging the price of it. What it currently is, how much I have, how much was traded, at what price, updates that price based upon that formula. A very simple formula, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's my assets file. Okay, so to run P&L, I want to pass the verbose flag. I pass in my assets, and I pass in my trades. Boom, it runs the program, which goes through each and every trade, parsing each trade, tells me what the trade is, then does a report on each and every trade, saying for trade this, came in with this, for the asset this, and then it computes the profit or loss on each and every trade. Then it prints out for every trade that I have recorded, the profit and loss for that trade. Lost some, lost some, lost some, made $1, made $20, made $200, made $200, made $700 on a F arbitration, thank you very much. I will happily take that $700 to the bank. Okay, so it does that. It does that analysis. And then it does this analysis. It says your old portfolio is worth this, your new portfolio is worth this. I copy and paste this new data into my reposed portfolio value. So I update the value of my portfolio every time I run this report. Then it prints out its own report saying on January 31st, you had $6,000 in profit, $85 in losses. Subtotal of that, fees were this, commissions were this. So the total costs were this, meaning that my total profit was $5,800 on 90 trades, averaging $64 in profit per trade. Yes, please. There were 11 liquidations involved in these trades. Okay, then it does this. It takes all the trades that I did and it says, hey, you did trading from Ethereum to wrapped staked Ethereum, and you made a total set of profit on all your trades during that month of almost $2,000. Yes, please. And the next big one is Kuji trading to LP Kuji Atom, making a profit of $800 by trading Kuji to the LP. And y'all wonder why I love the LP order books on Fin. My goodness, it's just a money printer. Also traded F to Kuji, $700 profit, etc., etc., etc. And then it spits out the losses that I had. I traded Luna to Kuji at a loss of $10, Luna to USK, loss of $25, Atom to Kuji at a loss of $36. Why are these losses occurring? Because I bought Atom at a higher price than what it's trading now. It's trading now around $9. I bought Atom when it was $15. So when I traded to Kuji, I'm trading at a loss. The trick here is that I'm trading Atom to Kuji in order to trade it back to more Atom. So I'm doing arbitration on the barometric board, Kuji Atom. And so I realize a real loss and doing a trade that I'll make a profit on my original money because I am trading at average cost basis. And so there's no way I'm entering into a trade where I'm going to trade at a loss. Let me rephrase. I'll enter a trade at a loss if I feel that the token is just going to go down forever. And so I'm going to trade it out now, take the loss, and then move on with that liquidity somewhere else where it'll be profitable. Okay, so I will trade at a loss. I take that back. But these trades here are actually trading for a gain in the long term. But since it is, each trade is a tax, what is it? Tax event. That particular trade was traded at a loss. Average cost basis. It's tax law. Look it up. Okay, then it records this. Then it says asset in play here. Okay, but I was thinking that I would have on this information about the most profitable trade and the most lossy trade. Why is it not here? Where am I? I'm in the wrong place. I'm still in the wrong place. Let's hide this shell and go to another shell. Your shells retain memory of where the environment was when it started. So when you open up a new shell, it's a refreshed environment. So you see that I'm in the newly created Rust projects directory. Let's go to and run the report now. Run that baby. Eek, bunch of errors. Okay, let's fix the errors. I need to import first last. That's one error. Okay, and all these errors are cascading. So let's recompile and see if it gets rid of a bunch of problems. It doesn't seem to. I need to let there. So let's go to line 76. Knowing your syntax is helpful. Okay, prof problem is taken care of. Same thing with loss. Okay, let's see what that does. Boom. And then it says most profitable asset traded WETH to wrap staked ETH for $1,900. Most lossy asset traded Atom to Kuji for a loss of $36. Boom. That addresses that pop quiz. And so now I have this source code, but it's not in my repository because if I do a git status here, it shows me that my reports file is modified. If we do a git diff, it shows me the code that I added, which is hard to read. And so I'm just going to add the file that I changed. So added most profitable and most lossy trades to the profit and loss report. You see, I'm pushing to the profit and loss branch. So that changed worked. So I'm going to go to main and merge it to main. Boom. Now you won't be able to push to main on my repository, but as I discussed before, you can fork the repository and it'll be your own repository, or you can merge, put in a merge request, and then via Git, I'll review the code, and if that makes sense, I'll approve the merge, and then I'll push that onto main. And then you can reach out to me via Twitter or here on YouTube or via Git to put your change in that you want and that you think that everybody will benefit from. So there's my repository, a collection of Rust programs that gets information from the blockchains, generates reports that makes me navigating the blockchains, trading on the blockchains, reporting data on the blockchains so much easier than what I would have to do by hand. This repository is freely available for your use and perusal, and for you to take as a stepping stone to build your own tools or to use for your own edification. Thank you very much.